Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Crossing in the Woods. Playing today, spawning in the north, we have Jimmy, playing as Ostheer, who has Spearhead, German Mechanized, and Mechanized Assault. Fighting against him from the south, we have USE-M246, playing as Brits, who has special weapons, Commandos, and Vanguard. In terms of rankings, Jimmy rank 5 as Ostheer and Use rank 10 as the Brits. Use currently top 10 with every faction at the moment.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Very, very strong position. Must be clocking a lot of hours. Interesting here. Use going for the universal carrier, then go for another section after that. Hasn't got any value out of this UC so far, coming across to the left-hand side. I imagine we're going to see tech from Use next. Pretty even split on the map so far. Jimmy playing a very defensive style. Not pushing in at all. Waiting for Use to come to him. Use, meanwhile, also not really advancing too much. Curious that he just never even spotted these troops over here, but then backs away. Didn't even get a burst off with that machine gun. To the center, Jimmy going for the 4th Grenadier. Reese seems to like those 4 Gren starts. In this particular case, with such a slow start to this match, he's bled so little manpower so far, it does make that 4th Grenadier a lot more affordable. And he's refusing to drop models. It's starting to fall now. A little bit surprised we didn't see some wire off over there for Use, but
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
And there we go. Vickers pops on the universal carrier. Quick retreat from those Grenadiers. Still drop 2 models though. Spitting out some pretty strong damage at the moment. Pies meanwhile going for the capture. I thought Jimmy might try to go back, get his tier 2 down at this stage. Not sure why the Grenadiers left cover there. Maybe they were just right-clicked on that squad. Trying to chase after it. Slight mistake from Jimmy.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Oh, and that's a bad retreat path too. Past the infantry section in the center. He'll be lucky to get away with this one. And he is not lucky. Down it goes. Have to respect that universal carrier, man. That thing is a beast once it gets the Vickers upgrade.
A capture point is being overrun.
Squad making a dash onto the fuel. Jimmy coming through the center here. Looks quite a lot of models from those Grenadiers though on approach. Jimmy going for the rebuild on the Grenadiers here. Interesting. This is definitely going to impact his tech at the moment. Like maybe he can build his tech structure, but he won't be able to build a fast 222 if he continues with this Grenadier. Also maybe jamming him from building a bunker and getting some healing going. So, you know, from what we saw against Happy Cat, now against Use, Jimmy really likes the 4 Grenadier style, but might ultimately be the wrong call in some cases.
All infantry squads can have an additional infantryman.
Sometimes it might be worth sacrificing that 4th one to have something else. And okay, Use locking into special weapons. Getting out a tank hunter section. Nice to see. Don't underestimate these things. They're pretty good. The anti-infantry firepower is actually pretty reasonable. And you know you can go for like one squad of them, even if your opponent doesn't go for a light vehicle. Oh boy, double grenades out. Oh, squad down again from Jimmy. He's having a bit of a nightmare to start this one off. Cheeky stuff there. And use actually, instead of going for the AEC, not going for any of that side tech, investing into other side tech for the infantry, the bolster, the grenades. And that's really put Jimmy in a world of hurt. Jimmy, meanwhile, no LMGs on any of his units so far, and going for a very, very late 222. So yeah, this is a very bad start for Jimmy. He has managed to hold on to this fuel basically the entire time though. So in terms of resources, he's doing all right, but in terms of squad losses and probably KD as well, he is getting smoked, just completely dominated. But yeah, Hughes is a little bit vulnerable to the 222 at the moment. Only one tank hunter section. One engineer with the snares. I don't think we've seen any mines planted so far, but I could be wrong about that. So 222 could just come in and blast through this very, very quickly. Oh, missed micro there from Jimmy though, getting caught on the sandbags. So the universal carrier does get away. Oh boy, and now he gets close enough for the anti-tank grenade to come off as well. That is some really poor control from Jimmy to allow that to happen. Pose out the back. Still no med bunker down as well. All the Grenadier rebuilds really costing him. And now you can see, look at all these low health squads he has running around. It's going to cost him a lot of manpower in the long run, getting this healing up so late. Flickers now for use, which makes a lot of sense. You know, you can kind of plop it down often in the center. Really helps control the action, control the VPs. Sniper now from Jimmy, okay. There's just no weapon upgrades either, which is very strange. It's one thing that I really just don't understand from the strategy so far. Oh, Jimmy finally back up to full strength on the 222. Getting right up close and personal with this section. Tank hunters coming in from the side. It is maybe looking for the snare. 222 taking him the long way around though. Doesn't want to take any damage from those boys' AT rifles. Grenade out, no dodge. Another squad down for Jimmy. Ooh, he is having a bit of a nightmare this particular match. He's finally gone for some LMGs now. Posturing like it's going to go diving in after the universal carry. You do have the engineers back there. They've got a mine down now and can run some interference, threaten the anti-tank grenades. So Jimmy not chasing in, and you would probably expect Hughes to have an anti-tank gun now as well with this composition. He could potentially. That's why Jimmy didn't chase in there, I imagine. Rebuild on the pioneers now from Jimmy. And finally getting that mid bunker up. But oh boy, man, that was really, really late. Looks like he wants to get the decap over here, but at risk, the universal carrier coming through. 222 just hasn't really been up to much since he made it. A little bit inactive, and now the universal carrier going for yet another kill. Jimmy really just desperate to get the decap there and ends up costing him the squad. Oh! Oh wow, they were briefly blocked in there, but I think the damage on the rear armor scared Jimmy off from sticking it out, staying in that position. But yeah, they were 222 blocked that squad in. Wouldn't have been able to retreat from that. Good bit of damage in from the 222. Sniper getting to work now. We've got a mortar pit meanwhile. Should be able to cover, yeah, this area with auto fire. This one with barrage. Should lead to some very strong VP control. Couple sections trying to close the distance here. Oh, this could be the end of the tank hunter section. Close call. Comes the mortar pit. Rifle grenade out as well. And Jimmy, you know, he's still holding on in terms of territory control very effectively, in spite of losing, was it like 3 Grenadiers now? Yeah, 3 Grenadiers and a Pio. His VP control is still quite strong, but USE does have a pretty big tech advantage. Jimmy still hasn't even gone for Battle Phase 2 yet. And I feel like with USE's position, we could even see him go straight for hammer or anvil. Which sometimes I feel like is a reasonable choice when you're this far ahead.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
It's going to go for the Cromwell though. Well, is this finally the end of the Universal Carrier? Jimmy gets cold feet, doesn't want to chase around the corner. Probably could have killed it, but probably also would have gone down to the tank hunter section. So
looking a bit squiffy. Line's been cut.
Fine decision there from Jimmy. Cromwell about to pop out. Jimmy's still with no anti-tank gun. He's just so hard done by for manpower at the moment, but he has had some pretty good VP control. Actually ahead on the victory points at this stage. Really needs to get a couple Talamines down now, because otherwise he could get overrun by this Cromwell quite badly.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Comes Cromwell. One thing that's nice about going, you know, straight for hammer or anvil from this position, oh, tries to throw a grenade but decides against it, is that you can get the heavy mortar barrage like straight away. And when you're this far ahead, one of the methods that you can lose your lead is from your opponent getting double anti-tank guns and then sniping off your medium tank, which is a lot harder to do against something like a Churchill or a Comet. You know, the extra health, the extra armor. So yeah, I do quite often like the straight tick up. Kind of sure you don't like stretch your lead as far, but kind of locks the game down.
Brim guns and Spearhead launchers can now be used by many units.
Stops you from throwing. And you know, gives you the heavy barrage, which can be very nice. Tank gun on the field now. Traffic jam over here. Universal Carrier blocking the Cromwell. Sniper getting quite a few kills. 8 already. Helping Jimmy close that horrendous KD ratio he had earlier. Trying to bait the Cromwell in at the moment, which honestly would not be in Jimmy's favour. Maybe USE giving Jimmy a little bit too much respect there. anti-tank gun was very far away, the Cromwell could have just dived through the center and got the kill very easily there. Not sure exactly when he swept up here. Most recently, though, might be worried about the Telemine. Which is understandable, even though we haven't seen Jimmy plant any mines so far, I don't think. Seems to be maybe a little bit of a weakness of Jimmy, in fact. Lack of mines. Sniper playing a dangerous game there. Cromwell popped off a shot at it. Hughes meanwhile going for a trench. Not going to help him against that sniper though. And the pack advancing. Panzer IV in the works now for Jimmy. Looks like Hughes has maybe gone for hammer or anvil. Hammer. Oh, mortar shells coming down the center. Sniper has to be careful. Could get one shot here. Looks like the shells are targeting slightly off to the right there, and he's using the heavy barrage as well. Got a few squads equipped with the Brens also, so Hughes slowing down quite a lot of this phase. Investing into both the weapon racks. Oh, it's just the end of the UC. Clears the arc in the nick of time. Cromwell takes another shot though as well. But yeah, Jimmy has really stabilized. Hughes seems to be struggling a lot, which is rather curious. You know, he's got the bolstered squads with now some Brens, so he should be able to beat the Grenadiers a lot more effectively. I guess it just comes down to the sniper. Helping Jimmy get back into this one, but now I've got a potential counter snipe. Hughes also going for the sniper. He's had enough. He's looking for the counter snipe. Hughes is a little bit lacking in the anti-tank department though. Never ended up building a 6-pounder. Could allow Jimmy back in the game, you know. Slight misplay with the Cromwell without enough anti-tank support, and that could be trouble. It's often where, you know, you want quite a lot of mines coming down from these engineers. Only has one engineer as well, which can hurt your repair speeds. We're going to need a second one at some stage, but also kind of needs the anti-tank gun. And now we've finally got a mine coming down from Jimmy. Telemine, very common position for it. Squad inside the trench could actually go okay against Panzer IV here. Trench soaking up most of the damage as long as it lasts. Panzer IV actually trading that effectively there. Meanwhile, we've got a mortar from Jimmy. Jimmy does have quite a lot of fuel at the moment. Might actually be worth considering going for the mortar half-track. That's what I'll be considering at the moment. You know, could maybe use the incendiary shot against the mortar pit at some stage. And the extra, like, mobility of the mortar half-track I find to be very, very helpful. And as I said, Jimmy not really hurting for fuel at the moment, so that's what I would favour, the mortar half-track, but he's just gone for the regular one. But yeah, the extra mobility and so handy. Just how quickly it can turn to face an angle and then start firing is very, very valuable, especially at these high-level games where players start dodging your shots so quickly. Mortar half-track can really keep the pressure on them. Recon plane up from Jimmy. He's got plenty of munitions. Smoking out. Pushing into the center now. This Cromwell has just been so inactive so far. 0 kills on it. It's crazy. does probably reveal the sniper. Oh, looks like the sniper's taken some damage, so no more element of surprise. The user sniper. Jimmy well aware of it now. This is why I feel like this commander is quite helpful in the British matchup. Recon plane does give you a big leg up in the sniping wars, which often feature in this kind of matchup. This is the commander I brought to the World Championships against Quiritz. For that reason. It was quite a long time ago, but the principle still stands.
Reconnaissance flight set to go.
He went for one with the command vehicle, and he was using the recon planes a lot. Okay, Panzer IV coming into the center now. But you can see U's really just digging in. Not trying to get anything aggressive going, just stalling out. Question is, what are we going to see him go for next? Is it going to be the Crocodile? Or is he going to go for the Comet? Nice dodge there from Hughes. Goes out to the north instead of the south. Jimmy's riflenade onto that door. So that would have been devastating if he jumped out of the other side. Okay, and Jimmy, from this position, going to go for the Werfer now. Again, smoking off the trench so he can try and go for the cap in the center. VP's almost dead even. I feel like Jimmy has had the superior fuel control though, really. He's harassed this point a few times. I don't know if Hughes has harassed this even once this entire match so far.
Causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
He's got to this point here, but I don't know if he's ever got to the fuel. This Cromwell just has been up to almost nothing. It's kind of crazy how much of a stalemate this game has been so far. Both players playing a very, very conservative style. Okay, we've got a Ford assembly up here now as well. Do some Ford reinforcements from that. Oh boy, that Grenadier dropping really, really fast and even drops the LMG. We've got the Werfer coming in. It looks like Jim was trying to line up a big Werfer barrage. Decent connection there. Hits the machine gun out the back. Anti-tank gun connecting for one shot. Probably has sight thanks to the squad inside the trench. Jumps out of the trench quickly. Doesn't end up taking any damage from the mortar. Recon plane up in the air now from Jimmy. So little veterancy from those two mortar crew kills though. Got the medics on this, which is also very handy. Doesn't have medics back at his base. Has been relying on the medics from the sections. And it's, you know, worth noting that medics do cost a little bit of pop cap, whereas Ford Assembly does not.
There's a Comet tank ready to go.
Ford missing its first shot. Jimmy with some confidence about where he can operate the Panzer IV without taking any anti-tank gun fire. Thanks to that recon plane. Sniper out the back. Frag bombs coming in. Looks like Hughes quick on the dodge. Panzer IV coming in, looking for the UC kill. Oh, misses, but the machine guns do enough damage. The Vickers also falling there. Nice little push there from Jimmy. Recon plane, frag bomb combo working out nicely. And it looks like Hughes decides to go for the Comet instead of the Crocodile. So Jimmy also stalling for the Tiger perhaps. Well, he's even got his tier 4 down, so doesn't quite have the room in his pop cap to be able to call that in though. And still only one pioneer too, so if he does want to actually repair up his tanks, just one Pio, probably not going to be enough for the Panzer IV and Tiger combo. Similar story for USE though, also still with only one engineering squad. Might pay to get another one to round out his composition here. We go, another Werfer strike coming in.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
Quite a lot of damage. Reasonable strike. And that's often what you want to do with these recon planes. If your opponent's not getting anti-air, you're under no pressure to fire off your Werfer strike right at the start of the recon pass. And if you're constantly using the recon pass, it can kind of lull your opponent into a false sense of security. And then, towards the tail end of the plane being active, that's when you can call in your strikes. Catch your opponent a little bit off guard. And this does seem to be just, slowly but surely edging a lead towards Jimmy, these kind of trades with the recon plane. Oof, squad nearly down. For USE, does survive. Bit 2 on the pack now. And yeah, it can be hard as Brits. Okay, does manage to field the Tiger. Knocks him out in terms of pop cap, and as I said, repairs are going to be extremely slow now. Heavy mortar barrage coming down out the back though, big connection. Oh, Grenadier's retreating through the target zone. Ooh, that was a close call on the retreat. Tiger on the far side. Uses anti-tank forces mobilizing to that direction now though. Quite slowly mobilizing, however. Jimmy backs away so you can see them coming with the recon plane. What's the pop cap on the Bofors these days? I've got reduced, right? Yeah, 6. So maybe we could see USE go for a Bofors to try and shoot down these recon planes. Maybe just plop it down, covering this VP. Could be an idea. If it's already fired. Recon plane up in the air again. But yeah, real stalemate this one. A real slow match so far. Just trying to cover the centre. Got the mortar coming down over here. One more coming forwards for the Panzer IV. Perhaps not even doing that. Tiger and Comet meanwhile trading on the other side of the map. The anti-tank gun in the centre not really committing to fighting either side, and that ends up costing USE a little bit there. USE meanwhile has saved up enough resources to go for the concentrated fire operation. The mortar barrage coming down on the Ostheer mortar out the back there. So I think a rifle nade cancel there. Ooh, heavy mortar even connecting and gets the decrew.
We have lost a gunner squad.
We've taken a bit of damage there as well, but yeah, really slow style.
Reconnaissance Stuka, fueled
So
and
this
ready
one.
to fly.
Complain up in the air from Jimmy once more. Sniper really on the far side here. He's just being so cautious with it. Doesn't want to get it picked off with that recon plane. Comes another word for strike. And this one annihilates the Vickers altogether. Cromwell coming around the corner. Is this the end of the 222? Oh, Telemine, I didn't even see that there. And Cromwell misses the follow-up shot. Panzer IV coming through. Tank guns nearby, but he's not even going to try line up any damage onto the Panzer IV. Cromwell not using the smoke shell either. That could really help him get away. Tank gun coming back out again. Hughes did hold the line here. Don't see that too often. He's going to kill off his decrewed Vickers now. Understandable. Wasn't really helping him out too much. It may free up some pop cap from, as I said, to maybe go for the Bofors. But yeah, that was some sloppy play with the Cromwell and the anti-tank gun. This tank gun was like backing away here the entire time. If he brought that up, smoked off with the Cromwell, maybe he could have got away there. Didn't do either of those things. Hold the line though. Did stop Jimmy from pressing in any further. And this is where these slow repairs can really bite Jimmy. Second Comet coming in for use. 18. Might leave him out for just about one more Royal Engineer. Which could be handy. Help sweep a couple of those Telemines so another calamity like that doesn't strike. Meanwhile, I feel like Hughes has been a little bit inactive with the mortar pit.
An emplacement is being attacked.
Making use of the heavy barrage again here, blasting down the center, but oftentimes I find
We're losing a capture point.
just going for these raw heavy barrages. You know, that heavy barrage is such a long cooldown. Sometimes it's better to just go for the regular barrage since the cooldown is basically as long as the barrage itself. That way you can use the barrage a lot more often. Take advantage of the extra bit of range on the mortar pit. And then use the heavy barrage at more select opportunities. Otherwise, you know, you'll be on cooldown for such a long time you won't be able to range any further than this. Ooh, that was a very close call on the sniper. Can hurt your territory control. This could be where the lack of repair starts to hurt Jimmy though a lot.
Reconnaissance flight ready at your disposal.
Hunting now on the side. Recon plane up in the air again from Jimmy, just spamming that out. He's started to build up a pretty large bank of resources now as well. Connecting once, anti-tank gun lining up. Doesn't quite get the shot through though. Try to get a trench down the center again. Pretty good connection from the mortar pit on that grenadier in the center. Actually able to drain off a few VPs. He's down by about 60 now. Ooh. Heavy mortar strike out the back again though. Oh, and this one connects really nicely. There goes the machine gun. Comet coming through the center. But the Packers there. Doesn't fancy his chances. Not V1 on that Comet yet, otherwise you might see him fire off the phosphorus shell and stay in the pocket. Goes for the recruit. Mortar shell lands again.
Let's get to work.
And now a cache coming up, a munitions cache in fact from USE. Interesting, he's got a lot of munitions in reserve at the moment. Maybe he intends to make use of the concentrated fire operation a bit more. That ability though is not the best.
causing trouble.
Overall,
Trying
I'm
to
not
take
a
one
very
of our
big fan of it.
points.
He's trying to get the decap here, but with the trench, with the Comet, no chance of that happening. Panzer IV on the flank, maybe looking to come in from the side at some stage if the opportunity presents itself. Meanwhile, Jimmy really hurting for repairs. Might be worth Jimmy even going for some munitions caches himself now. He's been spamming out those recon planes so much and plenty of manpower in the bank. You could quite easily see him putting down a cache maybe here and here. Use, you know, he's also pretty much has pop cap limits, so I might as well consider the same. Just that he hasn't really been spending his munitions so much.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from
Okay,
us.
young G Grandy is making a bit of a move. Let's go inside the trench here, could go down. Oh no, Hughes jumps out on the nick of time. Comet's armor holds up there. Popped hold of the line.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Interesting that it only seems to be active. Okay, on the VP in the center there as well. I didn't notice that. Hard to see on the mini map. You can see it on the tactical map. Planes came through there for a pass on the Pios. Stops them from capping. So maybe that's user strategy. Just every time Jimmy tries to come onto the VPs, use that hold the line.
A capture point is being overrun.
Interesting idea. And there we go! Gets the white because of it. Those hold the line planes are pretty damn strong against infantry. Especially on like retreating squads. Plane kind of, you know, does the strafe in a line backwards, and if you sync up the retreat along with the plane, the squad ends up taking a huge amount of damage. So with the loss of the Grenadier and the 222 frees up a bit of room in the pop cap for Jimmy. Looks like he's going to go for another Panzer IV with that. Interesting choice. Oops. I mean, that pretty much rounds out his army composition at that stage.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Picks up the dropped LMG from the deceased squad. Once again going for the heavy barrage.
We're losing a capture point.
Sniper. Oh, there it goes. Momentary lapse of focus from Jimmy as he tries to get a bit of a push going, and he ends up losing his sniper, but back the other way, the target weak point connecting. Comet in some trouble, pops the war speed though. Panzer IV also popping the blitz, but he doesn't have enough to get the job done. 6-pounder and Comet coming in from the side here. Panzer IV maybe looking to come in on the flank though. Pack advancing, so is the Tiger. Could potentially pressure the mortar pit. Sniper maybe looking to sneak forwards with the camo. The anti-tank gun's already backed away and repositioned. Here comes the Comet. This could be a dead Panzer IV. Used though maybe playing a little bit too defensively with the Comet. Backs away to here instead of driving forwards and looking for the kill. So Jimmy able to get away very safely there. Missed opportunity for use. Jimmy going for another Pyro squad. Once again, some pop cap freed up by the sniper loss this time. Jimmy leaving this pack quite exposed on the front lines here without much defense. Fires off the phosphorus on as well, so it's going to have to go back to base to heal up. Tiger backing away now. Comes the Werfer strike. going after the anti-tank gun, but used quick to back it away and also pop the rapid maneuvers, speeding up the anti-tank gun's withdrawal.
Our troops are ready to dig in
Okay,
with
smoke from the Comet to try cover the capture in the center. Now it's Jimmy who's about 50 VPs behind. This squad inside the trench, he's locking him down. I don't think Hughes has moved out of this position as well. Kind of camping it out at the moment. Here comes the Panzer IV. Ooh, squad down, going down so quickly. Here comes the Comet. Another Panzer IV for Jimmy. Triple Panzer IVs and the Tiger. Looks like Jimmy... Oh. Backing away from the hold the line activation. Maybe running short on patience now. Looking to try get something aggressive going with the triple Panzer IVs. He's lost all but one of his grenadiers now as well. The good news about this kind of play from Jimmy is that Hughes, I don't think, has planted almost any mines so far, and only has one squad that actually has snares as well, so that will make these kind of aggressive triple Panzer IV Tiger plays considerably more effective without engine damage really being on the cards. Keep on the machine gun again. And yeah, it looks like that is Hughes' strategy to just activate hold the line and stall out the VP captures.
Ready and waiting.
Interesting. Yeah. Most common this kind of like very slow match with players going for like very patient late game strategies. Bit of mine there. Okay, Hughes finally getting some mines down. Finally, okay. Yeah, well, this could really hurt Jimmy. Jimmy does have sweepers on both of his pyos though. Can be hard to find time to get the sweeping done in advance though. Double Panzer IV is ready now for Jimmy. Jimmy kind of running short on munitions. Real shame that he never built any caches. Damage on one of the Panzer IVs, the highly vested of the two. So worth a strike. Oh, that's a nasty one. Annihilates the anti-tank gun altogether. That could be the green light for Jimmy to get something going. Tank hunter section. Really going down there as well. Jimmy trying to make a bit of a move. Hold the line on cooldown at the moment. Jimmy advancing, he's got the recon plane up, it's giving him a little bit of confidence with the Tiger. This pack camped in the center at the moment, needs to bring it across to support on that left hand side. Pyos meanwhile going down in the center to the mortar combo. Here come the Panzer IVs. Mine 1, mine 2. Shut down just like that. Finally destroys that trench. Here come the Comets, maybe looking to clean these up. The pack, since it didn't rotate across to the left to assist, now is in position maybe to help the Panzer IVs as they back away. Jimmy needs to set this bad boy up. Got the sections there though, they're looking to laser beam down that pack as quickly as they can. Applying the pressure, here comes the second Comet now, main gun crit on this one. Pack looking to set up again. Smoke finally from Jimmy, and that probably saved the Panzer IV there. Meanwhile, Pack stops the Comets from chasing it any further. But yeah, this is a pretty common mine spot as well. He's taking a little bit of a risk, but we've only seen one telemine so far from Jimmy, choosing to spend his munitions on the recon planes instead. But it seems like Hughes has been edging out a slight lead with the mortar pit wipes. It's worth a strike though. A little bit of damage on the anti-tank gun, nothing special though. He's scattering a lot in this direction instead of wide. A little bit unfortunate on the scatter for Jimmy. 4 kills only on that sniper. Kind of crazy considering how long he's had it on the field. And, you know, when it's at this low stage of veterancy, you know, it doesn't have very good line of sight either, so it's not really that useful as a sight tool. Need to vet it up. I think it's vet 2 when it gains back the sight range. Jimmy, meanwhile, repairing up, just about back up to full strength again finally. Base helps fire in the center. Jimmy slowly draining out. Now he's down by around 150 VPs.
Damned enemies trying to
And
take
further
a
and
point from
further
us.
behind. Use with enough for another 2 hold the lines. It's really going to continue to hurt Jimmy in the VP control department. Looks like he wants to come in from the side with the Tiger Panzer IV combos, popping the recon planes again. No mines down over here. Ooh, but there's one back
Our
there
capture
though.
point. They're trying to take it.
Could hurt Jimmy quite badly. Oh, sweepers. Okay, here they come. Here come the sweepers, sending them in first.
We're losing a capture point.
Spots one of the mines. Strike into the center, doesn't hit too much. Here comes the anti-tank gun. And Jimmy getting cold feet. Pyro's losing health too quickly. Can't continue to sweep up the area. Decides not to press in from that side at least. Little Panzer IVs meanwhile coming out to the side, but you know, with their penetration, that they don't do that well against the Comet. Maybe if the Comet's got its rear armor exposed though, that's a different story. Here come the Panzer IVs, 2 rear armor connections. Comet war speeding out to safety. Anti-tank gun. Good position. Comet coming back in. Anti-tank gun camped in the center. Oh. Double Panzer IVs on the side. Oh, Comet, there's a horrible maneuver. Do you see that? Oh boy. Horrendous pathing for use.
Out of action.
Activating hold the line again here. Panzer IV trying to get away. Comet trying to come in. Pops the smoke though. And the hold the line planes. Looks like they're targeting the Tiger though. Quite low. Tiger playing it safe though, backing out. Not coming back in with the blitz to try and finish the job there. News going for yet another Comet. Definitely understandable at this stage in the game. Oh, Panzer IV coming into the hold the line zone. So big dose of damage. Another pyro coming in for Jimmy. Forwards again. Gotta be careful he doesn't take engine damage from this tank intersection.
You now have a new Comet tank.
And slowly just Jimmy. Can't get those VPs.
Jerry's only got 100 points left.
Onto the trench here. That's the benefits of trench, you know.
Forward position.
Often allow
Capture
squads
point is
to
being overrun.
avoid damage like that. Drop some base house fire in there from the sniper, opening up the VP capture. Preventing the machine gun going for that as well. And Jimmy, with so many repairs required, no pop cap to go for another Pio. Even though he's got it in the queue. Heading back out to this direction, which is a good time to do this now. He's got the pack there in case the Comets come. Really likes to clear out that trench. It's been causing him quite a few headaches so far. Back in a nice position here. Next once, probably going to get a second shot in here thanks to the reload bonus on that. And hits Vet 3 with that also. There's very nice. Giving it the penetration boost now. Very, very helpful against those high armor Comets. Jimmy, though, under so much VP pressure right now. Going back into the center. Grenade out, mortar pit slamming down. And machine gun gets outright destroyed. Werfer strike coming in, nearly knocks out this section, but they do survive. Okay, Jimmy making a bit of a play again. Tiger coming through. So is the Panzer IV. Rapid maneuvers on the 6-pounder. Big connection there from the Tiger. 6-pounder under a lot of pressure. There it goes. Decruise. And Jimmy making a bit of a play here. Coming in with the low health Panzer IV as well. Swarming in. Trying to finish the job on use. There goes the Panzer IV though. Quick to die. And oh boy, the pack quite exposed. They'll survive for the moment though. Tiger quite deep at the moment. Gotta be careful he doesn't take the anti-tank grenade from the tank hunter section.
The enemy cut our supply line.
Safe for the moment. Use also with, you know, repair time headaches with just the one Royal Engineering squad. Jimmy coming back in with the Tiger. Pack covering out the back there. Pop the brace on the mortar pit so the Tiger couldn't knock it out here. And Jimmy, after losing that machine gun, goes for yet another Pio. So he's tanks and Pios now. That's his entire army. Trees soaking a couple of the hits there. Close call for the tank hunter section. Oh, he spotted that like 4 times with the sweeper. Still ends up running over it right in front of the 6-pounder now as well. Well-timed smoke there. Use missing the attack round as well. That's exactly how you want to smoke in these kind of situations. Right before the anti-tank gun's going to come through for another shot. For hanging on by a thread there. Used now the one swarming in. The pack a little bit too far back. And connecting. Oh boy, Comet in some trouble. Oh, but that gets decrewed through the center. Calamity striking for Jimmy. This one pretty healthy. Oh, there goes the Tiger. Did he use the blitz at all there? I'm not sure. Now the Panzer IV has a horrible matchup against this Comet. Jimmy trying to hide behind the trees for the moment. He's got a Panzer IV combo in the works. But he's so low on the victory points. Gammon bomb to finish off the decrewed pack. Oh, and the tank hunter section is upgraded to the Piats now. Gives him a little bit more firepower. That could be the end of the Panzer IV. Nope, Comets miss. Oh, they got the anti-tank grenade off though. Quite a long-range anti-tank grenade on that tank hunter section.
Enemy got one of our squads.
And there goes the Panzer IV. Panzer IV from the other direction coming in. Oh boy, but it misses. Oh, and then it bounces and the Comet stays alive. Jimmy's got the Panther nearby though, just freshly spawned. Not in time to knock out this Comet though. It looks like that's going to get away. He might have wiped out one of the sections over here with the Werfer. Oh, Panther coming in. Needs to land one more shot. We've got the tank hunter section there with the Piats though. Gets the kill. But then he's still got the Piat squads there. 16 VPs remaining. Panzer IV coming in from the other side. Those Piats are hitting hard though. Going for the capture.
Down to their last 10 points.
Jamming the capture. Here comes the Werfer. Oh boy. Panzer IV needs to come back across here. Jimmy trying to stall the capture. 6 VPs remaining. Looks like he will be able to stop it. Panzer IV getting aggressive now. Keep use off the VPs. He does have the anti-tank gun back here. Could recrew that. There's another Comet in the works as well as constructing another anti-tank gun.
An emplacement is being attacked.
Panzer IV, meanwhile, trying to
Enemy
strike
causing trouble, trying to take one of our
hard
points.
while there's no resistance. I was going for the cap on the third VP. Oh, going for the fuel. Okay, interesting. Recon plane up in the air. Oh, and that spots the anti-tank gun getting recruit.
Capture point.
Jimmy
They're
backs
trying to
away.
take it.
Still takes one shot worth of damage. With a strike coming through. On the double anti-tank guns, but they're already on the move. So avoid the damage. I thought he might try go for the mortar pit with that. You know, freshly coming out of brace. Might have been able to get the kill on it. He was a bit too quick dodging away with the anti-tank guns. Then gun crit on the Panther. It's repaired off though.
You'll find it very bracing up there.
Oh, but Jimmy, he's left the VP a little bit exposed in the center. Oh, he's trying to repair up his tanks. He needs to be sending one of these POs into the center here. He cannot allow this capture. Just can't allow it. Recon plane's wearing off now as well. Panther coming in from the side here. But he's not doing anything. He's just repairing up the Panzer IV. He needs to get going right now. He's going to lose on the VPs because of this. Coming in from the side. Use popping, hold the line though. Good spread on the anti-tank guns here. And there's engine damage on the Panther. Coming into the center now. One VP remaining. It's too late, Jimmy. It's too late. And down he goes. Well, that was a little bit of a slow-paced game, I have to say it. Both players not really getting aggressive at all. Like, I don't think we saw Hughes push onto this fuel almost the entire game. It's crazy to see. Jimmy also with a very patient style, constantly spamming that recon plane. But yeah, I'd say overall, like a lack of mines on both sides. So that being said, Hughes did plant a couple on the tail end of the game, and that really helped him out against the double Panzer IVs, trying to make a push over here. And then over here, it might have almost been like a game-winning mine. Really slowed down Jimmy's push. But yeah, then Jimmy just slowly draining out on the VPs. The hold the line just uses a VP control tool ultimately. Jimmy slowly draining out because of that. And the mortar pit, you know, just getting those wipes here and there made a big difference. Worth back the other way. You know, did have a really good hit on one of those anti-tank guns, but maybe not quite as consistent of a wiping tool. But yeah, a slow grind on this one, and use the one who ends up coming out on top. Tank play's not really working out that well for Jimmy. It's where I feel like, yeah, triple Panzer IVs, or was it 4 at one stage? I feel like the Panther just helps out so much more against the Comets. But yeah, GG, an interesting long late game battle here. Anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like Good Game, be cast by me. Details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.